My neighbor filled in a protected wetland to build a pickleball court, so I called the Army Corps of Engineers. The roar of the bulldozer woke me up at 6 a.m., vibrating my coffee cup off the nightstand and onto the carpet. I looked out the window to see my neighbor, Greg, a man who wears Bluetooth sunglasses and refers to his midlife crisis as a rebranding, standing on the edge of the marshy creek bed that separates our properties. He was directing a massive yellow machine to dump tons of gravel into the water. Greg, I yelled, running outside in my slippers. What are you doing? That's a creek. It was a swamp, Dave, Greg shouted back, beaming like he just discovered fire. I'm reclaiming the land. Mosquitoes are bad for property values. I'm putting in a regulation pickleball court. It's going to be epic. I'll even let you play if you buy your own paddle. You're filling in the wetlands? I asked, watching a turtle frantically scramble away from a pile of crushed stone. Greg, that water feeds the entire neighborhood drainage system, and it's full of cattails. You can't just pave nature because you want to play oversized ping pong. Watch me, he scoffed, taking a sip of his kale smoothie. I own the dirt, I own the water. It's common law, buddy. Besides, I hired a guy. He said it's fine as long as we use permeable gravel. It's eco-friendly destruction. Does your guy have a permit from the Army Corps of Engineers? I asked, my voice dangerously calm. The Army? Greg laughed, a sound like a seal choking. This is suburbia, Dave, not a war zone. I don't need the military's permission to improve my backyard. Now, move. You're in the splash zone. I didn't argue. I didn't chain myself to a cattail. I walked back inside, wiped the coffee off the rug, and opened my laptop. Greg thought he was dealing with the HOA. He didn't realize he was dealing with the Clean Water Act, Section 404. I pulled up the National Wetlands Inventory map. Sure enough, the strip of land Greg was currently murdering was designated as estuarine and marine deepwater, federally protected. Touching it without a permit wasn't a code violation, it was a federal crime. I called the local field office of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Hi, I told the officer. I'd like to report an active, unpermitted discharge of fill material into a jurisdictional wetland. There is heavy machinery involved, and a guy in neon shorts. We're on our way, the officer said. His tone suggested he didn't like pickleball. That's when the real bombshell dropped. The feds didn't come in a sedan. They came in 3 black SUVs and a truck marked Environmental Enforcement. Greg was in the middle of laying down the plastic court tiles when the agents swarmed the yard. They weren't wearing HOA polos. They were wearing tactical vests and carrying measuring tapes that looked weaponized. Turn off the machine, the lead agent barked at the bulldozer operator. The driver killed the engine and practically dove out of the cab, hands up. Whoa, whoa. Greg jogged over, adjusting his visor. What is this, a raid? I'm just building a court. I have rights. You have a violation of federal law, the agent said, handing Greg a citation that looked like a phone book. You just filled half an acre of protected wetland. The fine is $37,500. That's expensive gravel, I muttered from my porch. $37,000. Greg shrieked, turning pale. I'll pay it. Just let me finish the court. That's per day, the agent corrected, cold as ice. Per day that this fill remains in the water. You have to remove every single rock, by hand, with a shovel, to minimize further damage. If you use a machine again, we double the fine. And we're seizing the bulldozer as evidence of the crime. By hand? Greg whispered, looking at the mountain of gravel he had just dumped. Start digging, the agent said. We'll be watching. Greg spent the next 3 months in the mud. He ruined his manicure. He ruined his back. He had to hire a specialized environmental restoration crew to replant the cattails he destroyed, which cost him another 50 grand. The best part, the permeable gravel he bought was actually non-compliant industrial waste, so he got slapped with a hazardous material disposal fee on top of everything else. He put his house up for sale last week. The listing mentions a nature-forward backyard. Am I the monster for calling in the federal cavalry, or did Greg serve himself a fault when he tried to pave paradise?